Well, there's people that voted for Biden that are doing it now. They're like, what did I do?
Right.
Like, what did I choose? Like, how is this guy?
Yeah, you just can't listen to an interview or he's saying some of the stuff he says that just makes no sense at all.
Like yesterday or a couple of days ago, he's talking about the Revolutionary War. He's like, one of the reasons why we lost the Revolutionary War, one of the problems with the Revolutionary War was they didn't have enough airports.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I saw.
A few moments later.
The same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports.
Is that fake?
It's not fake, but he was referencing Trump saying that.
It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he fucked up.
A little different. He's like, you could tell he like messed up his words, but yeah.
Oh, so when he thought it was Biden, well, he's done. Count him out. And once he realized it was his bro Trump, he just effed up. And this is why, for every dude carrying a swimming pool's worth of water in an absurdly large canister to his 45-minute gym workout, who'll tell you the earth is flat because Rogan told him, use said month's supply of water to wash it down with a cup of salt.
Like, what the hell?
Like, pull him.
It's crazy.
If you had any other job and you were talking like that, they would go, hey, you're done.
There's no disputing that Joe Rogan has immense reach through his podcast. Recently, he's been blushing over Trump for walking into UFC fights, as he calls them, quote, the right-wing Avengers.
And, he was at the UFC this weekend in Madison Square Garden, and he's showed up at the UFC before. When he walked out of Madison Square Garden, it was fucking bananas.
Really?
Walking in like the right-wing Avengers.
I personally would say it was more like the Fantastic Four movie, but him being a fanboy, it doesn't bother me. What does is that he likes to present himself as bipartisan. On the fence, just spitting facts chased with a spoonful of C4 and alpha brain pills.
Thought that Biden was going to make it. I never thought that he was going to be functional. Like regardless of what kind of power the president actually has. And it appears under Trump, the president has a lot more power than we think they do. But under Biden, it's like he's handled. Like he's just out there talking and saying, the real problem is Donald Trump. Donald Trump, what he's done is terrible. What he did in the office. It's all nonsense.
But he's disingenuous, and this is the perfect example. Because when he thought that Biden said this, he used it to claim that Biden is in cognitive decline, unfit for office. But when he comes to realize that Biden was actually referring to Trump, the man who doesn't know what city he's in, thinks Jeb Bush led us into Iraq and Viktor Orban is Turkish, it suddenly just becomes a slip of the tongue.
Well, there's people that voted for Biden that are doing it now. They're like, what did I do?
Right.
Like, what did I choose? Like, how is this guy?
Yeah, you just can't listen to an interview or he's saying some of the stuff he says that just makes no sense at all. It's like, you can't listen to those interviews and feel like you made a good decision. I don't know how you could.
Did you hear what he said like yesterday or a couple of days ago? He was talking about the Revolutionary War. He's like, one of the reasons why we lost the Revolutionary War, one of the problems with the Revolutionary War was they didn't have enough airports.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I saw that. It's like, what the hell?
Like, pull him.
It's crazy.
If you had any other job and you were talking like that, they would go, hey, you're done.
A few moments later.
The same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports. Whoa.
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa.
Right, just for the record.
Is that fake?
It's not fake, but he was referencing Trump saying that. Here's what Trump saying it in 2019. Donald Trump said something about that. He didn't say Jesus. He said a stable genius, and that's where the transcription.
Let me hear what it says. What did he say?
In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he fucked up.
Yeah, he did. But I feel like
Took over the airport.
You can tell too. It sounds like a little different. He's like, you can tell he like messed up his words, but yeah. He's just, I don't know.
to go over the airports.
Well, that's
It
the
is
thing
funny.
about media these days. It's like,
right.
You
never
got to
know.
look into it.
And listen, he is not the only one. Across the MAGAverse, they love nothing more than to discuss Biden having a stutter, slipping now and again, but turn a blind eye to a man who wanted to inject bleach into COVID-infected people.
And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way, right? And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning?
I'm not surprised Rogan didn't take issue with that one.
I just love how wearing a mask became like this fucking like soft thing that you were doing, like being
it's for
courteous. Being courteous. Why is it for bitches? That was so stupid.
First of all, it's
Oh
not-
God, you're so tough with your fucking open nose and throat.
Talks more about windmills at his rallies than people.
We fight like hell, and they put up all these windmills all over the place that if you add the cost of rebuilding, and they're all rebuilt, you know, in China. They're all built in China and Germany. And they said, let's assume you're a big believer in this. They send big fumes in. So you add it all up, and it's terrible. You can't get rid of the blades. They only last 10 years. The energy is the most expensive energy you can do. They kill all our birds. If you want to see a bird cemetery, go under a windmill sometime. You'll see birds like you never saw. If you love birds, you'll start to weep. But it's just the craziest thing. They ruin our plains and fields. They're killing our whales. You know, the whales are coming in. I think we had one whale come in 50 years. This year we had like 12. It's a terrible thing they're doing to our country, and they're doing.
And has lied more than 102 times just this fall. But this is the perfect example of their mindset. So immersed by this guy. I mean, maybe it's because he's more convincing in his moments of incoherent rambling.
Colleges and universities will purge the anti-Semitism and pro-terrorism. What you're doing?
To it sounds like a little different. He's like, you could tell he like messed up his words, but
yeah.
And a very big hello to a place where we've done very well, Sioux Falls. Thank you very much, Sioux Falls, and thank you. So Sioux City.
That him making an absurd statement, one of countless, is just a slip of the tongue. But if Biden did, well, all bets are off. I hate the idea that people like this pretend to be neutral. Just come out and say it.
And the country was in a great economic situation.
Yeah.
And it looked like his policies were actually effective, and that it looked like the unemployment was down, all business was building.
Your president, Donald Trump, lost 2.6 million jobs during his 4 years. How about the fact that Joe Biden's created more jobs, 6 times more jobs than the previous 3 Republican presidents combined?
199,000 jobs added in November. The unemployment rate came down to 3.7.
The gift that keeps on giving. The story of 2023 is an economy that just stayed strong.
You're as bipartisan as you are a scientist, as Bill Burr reminded you.
400 million people to all pull in the same direction. It's fucking. You can't get 40 comics to pull in the same direction. So
But they
like
did.
they have like an impossible. They did and they didn't.
You want people to walk down the street with a mask on?
Let's not start this, Joe.
Do you though?
Let's not start this. Okay.
Let's start it.
I don't want to start this bullshit. I'm not going to sit here with no medical degree, listening to you with no medical degree, with an American flag behind you, smoking a cigar, acting like we know what's up better than the CDC.
Thanks so much for watching. We're only a few subscribers short of 2 million subs. Please subscribe right now to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel for free and help us grow this unapologetically pro-democracy network.